Hey, welcome back everyone. Today we're going to learn about how to combine IR topics in our specific course of English and professional purpose. My name is Kamil Ghiffary and I'm going to show you the learning objective of today's class. So apparently for today's specific course, I'm going to put a specific study case of Rohingya on how we should talk around the relevant issues of international affairs. The first objective that we're going to have is I want everybody of you to understand the audio file we are talking about Rohingya issues. So I have provided you a file that you can actually find in this particular recording or in the system. So I want everybody to understand you have to listen and watch the video first. Second of all, I want everybody in the class to comprehend basic informations, anything provided, anything spoken, any new valuable information that you have listened and you have heard from the audio and from the video that I have provided you in the leads. So it is going to talk about Rohingya crisis, and I want everybody to make note of every invaluable opinions, especially relating to the crisis of human rights. I want everybody to ask yourself, since I'm going to ask to yourself, have you heard about any refugee crisis, especially in the news? What do you know about them? Can you share a little bit about it? Or maybe you have a specific experience, maybe your neighbors are part of the circle of illegal migrants that have been violated for their human rights from those undisclosed private or undisclosed criminal activities. Or maybe you learn about one or two during your study in IR study. Have you heard about the transnational crime and the organized activity of those criminal actors in I don't know, maybe kidnapping somebody, or maybe putting them as a non-legal worker outside of our transnational border? Have you heard about it? Please, if you have heard about it, especially if you have heard, listened, and watched the video that I'm going to show you, please let me know in the comment section or in the forum section. So, what are some common reasons why people have become refugees and flee from their homes? Is there any particular reasons? Is there any particular drives that make them flee from their houses, make them go outside of their national borders? What makes people escape their homelands? Do you have any reasons? Do you have any academic reasonings? Do you have any political reasonings of why people decided to leave their houses, to leave their home behind, to leave the place that they have born with? Do you have any reasons for that? If you have heard about it, and if you have already shared about it, how do you think those refugees, or how do you think this crisis of human refugees impacting the countries and communities that host them? For example, Indonesia receiving those immigrants of Rohingyas from this particularly violation of human rights happening in Myanmar. Do you think what will happen to Indonesia, especially for the people living, sharing with the locations that the people of Rohingya live with in Indonesia? Do you think we have any political impact on it, or maybe economical, or maybe even culturally? Do you have anything to say about it? So I want everybody to see the screen in front of you, to see many faces of people with uncertain future, people with questions upon tomorrow. What are we going to have for tomorrow? Am I still going to be able to walk on this earth for tomorrow? Or am I going to be shipped away, pushed away back to the oceans again? And I don't know, finding another host that maybe will do the same thing again to me, my family, and my community's way. I want everybody to take a look in front of you, to take a look of their eyes, and put the position of yourself into them. So in this particularly slides, I'm going to, so as I have previously mentioned, this is a specific video that I have provided for you. So maybe we can save a little bit of time by skipping this slide, and you can watch it independently later. Okay, so this is basically the audio file that I have previously talked about And we are going to have a lot of activities for today's class. We're going to have group works. We're going to play a little bit of fun, won't hurt anybody. Next slide, please. We're going to have a reading session. We're going to have a discussion session. And we are going to have an assignment that we have already know, spread it into 4 or 5 students each group. In this particular assignment, you're going to have a questions that you need to work on. First of all, what are the main challenges faced by Rohingya refugees in Southeast Asia? You can talk in many possible perspectives. You can talk about in the security perspective, you can talk about the transnational perspective, you can talk about the human rights perspective, you can talk about the economic perspective, you can talk about anything as long as it's relevant enough with the issues that we are going to talk about Rohingya today. Second of all is how have countries like Indonesia and Bangladesh responded to the increase or to the influx of Rohingya refugees coming to their countries. If you remember correctly, we are separated into 2 different opinions. Maybe there are some political driven opinionated people on that matters, but I want you to have a personal subjective opinion regarding your group's opinion and see of how we as Indonesia perceive them as a Rohingya and how we should treat them and how we have treated them. Third of all is what role do local communities, for example, students of UPNVJ, play in responding to Rohingya crisis, because we as a civil society, we matters in a democratic system. And what ideas that you particularly can express about and maybe even facilitate and support and realize it upon helping the people in need, such as Rohingya community. And the fourth of all is what are the potential solutions to address the humanitarian situation faced by the Rohingya. You can talk about anything, even anything that you haven't experienced before. Maybe you can talk about the joint forum between another states, or maybe you can talk about the combinations of multiple civil society cross borders, such as like Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, Malaysia, to tackle this specific Rohingya crisis. I don't know. Please give your point about it, give your idea about it. There is no limitation on answering these questions. And afterwards, these questions, and then you need to some sort of a presenting in front of everybody. I want everybody to take charge on this matter. I don't want somebody else, I don't want anybody, just let a single guy or girl to take charge and answer everything. So everybody in the group have to answer something, have to provide something, a solution, an idea, a perspective, or anything you can talk about. So as a conclusion, as a short conclusion for the class, is a reflection based on the complexities of Rohingya crisis. And I hope that with understanding there are a bridge here between the IR specific topics such as Rohingya and then the topics such as that we are going to learn today as an English professional purpose in circumventing an opinion, circumventing an information in English. I hope that we can have simple implications that a deeper understanding for both complex issues, Rohingya crisis and English for professional purpose. So I guess that's all for me today. I hope that we're going to have a very happy session in the class. I hope that everybody can actually do something in the group, because I want everybody to take charge in anything. Maybe you can be the moderator, or maybe you can be the people, maybe you can be the person who take charge on answering every questions, or maybe you are the person who are going to answer questions from your peer works or students. Okay, so I see you next week, because this presentation is going to have to be presented next week. See you, farewell, see you next week, and see you later.